Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 27 of Gracefall, Voices Heard. That's a lot of episodes. Last time, the crew investigated a mine shaft, or a cavern system, rather, where they found an elemental Voltron and also a Titan Vault, with a bunch of warnings on it that they heeded because they're smart. They left and condemned the mine, and at the very end of the episode, a bunch of priests landed, and you all kind of shunted them off to make, like, here's an alley of the small gods kind of thing. So we're going to pick up we're going to pick up the next day. And Liz asked this pre-stream. So if you have not, make sure you hit long rest from, we had the rock fight a couple episodes ago. You will all have had a long rest since then. Okay. So, in the morning, you all, sorry, pulling up my notes. In the morning, Commander Crawford kind of has people condemning the mine, let me know if I'm too loud, chat. I notice I'm spiking red on my thing. Has people condemning the mine, properly securing it closed, making sure that no one is going to go into it. And she's studying a couple surveying maps from scouts. And we'll call over Clangley and Wynne if they're around, so that she may discuss what to do next in regards to, they need to reopen a mine somewhere, and Wynne is the expert on the area, and Clangley is the work foreman. So kind of trying to get your feedback on thoughts on where to move a new mine to that doesn't have a Titan chained up in it.
I would strongly suggest... Do we know of any veins of mithril or residual?
Oh, we had that tree which we could pick branches from. We just have to be careful of, like, not actually cutting it down.
That would be more efficient than trying to... Honestly, the danger glade is very dangerous, but I think if we have... Look, last time we had people harvesting from the danger glade, it did start a cult. So we do have to keep that in mind.
Well, they have...
Just a little cult.
Just a little one. They have access to other more traditional religions now. Maybe that'll stem cults.
You know,
unestablished
enough,
cults.
Actually help.
So.
Did we like mark down on a map other avenues of, like, other little spots in the mountains where we could pick up, or is it just like that one spot?
So when you have done, kind of in downtime, you have done surveying and excavating, and out past Hot Spring Hamlet, there's a river and a large chain of mountains, and you think that in those mountains there's definitely the more traditional metals to be mined, not the mithril or residuum, but stuff like iron, copper, that kind of stuff. precious gems. You think that the mine is pretty rich with resources. And it's about maybe 20 miles from Hot Spring Hamlet. So about a day's journey before you
Set up a new settlement, I think.
have
To make
roads.
it a more permanent operation.
Yeah, we could always take a day trip and just go scouting and see what's out there and maybe get that started up.
I would say that's a good idea. We'll take a small workforce with us. Shall we gather the usual adventuring party?
Or we weren't planning on doing anything else from last week, were we? Just as an aside.
No, I don't think you had pre-planned anything, or I don't think I had laid anything down. Oh, that's the wrong way.
I mean, Issabel's gonna be busy because Issabel is always just busy, but I don't know if I have anything specific.
Right? Yeah, you
going
all
on
have
yet.
stuff to do, but okay. Is there anyone in particular you'd like to bring?
Kind of a few of my hardy, warforged, surly worker types.
Okay.
Gonna leave Wheezy here to keep an eye on things, obviously, because again, I if no one's got my back, well, I know Wheezy's got me.
Oh
No
yeah,
one's got me, I
for
know
sure.
Wheezy's got me.
No, she is scary loyal. Okay, so let's.
I'm sure there's a backstory there, but I haven't even written it.
Okay, so you bring 3, and I quote, "Sir." I'm going to put in parentheses, surly, warforged.
One of them is named Surly. Okay. Lori, as in the thing you would use to move things. Surly, and what's something that rhymes with Mo that is related to mechanical things or labor?
Joe.
I was going to say hoe, but as in the farm instrument.
I know.
No
but we
shame in
can't-
either.
Well,
I mean, look.
sex work is
I
valid
don't
work.
judge, but I don't think you can have that as your name.
Not with that
I-
kind of attitude,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
maybe not on Twitch, but
Look,
Well.
I hate to break it to you, but there are some Warforged who were made with a profanity filter.
The working Joe.
I think Joe is pretty good, but
Lori, Surly, and Joe.
okay. No, Shemp. Everyone's favorite, Shemp.
Who? And there's some others I'm assuming, but we don't have to give them all names.
Well, if you're just bringing like a small contingent that's 3 Warforged, is there anyone that like Issa, Wynne, or Claire would like to be like you?
Issa might ask Rick to come with us.
He will happily.
If Claire is coming, then Claire is going to bring Ven.
Also going to suggest Ven.
Okay.
Claire is interested in learning how to speak deep from Ven,
Okay.
as she noticed that he's having a little bit of a hard time communicating. And can probably get some better answers out of him if she understands what he's trying to say.
Okay. Let me make a note of that.
Imagine Deep is easier to learn when you don't have traditional vocal cords.
You can modulate them, probably.
Or to be honest with you, I don't actually know how my voice box works. I just get someone else to replace it when I need a new one.
Wynne, is there anyone you would like to bring?
Just Wynne and Spicy.
Wynne and Spicy. The dynamic duo. Okay.
Hatthew is obviously coming with as well.
I do like that we all independently ended up with our own little guys.
Yeah, that's...
I'm going to make an executive decision. We'll just decide this now. Do we think gonna need the Cloak of the Manta Ray? Because I'm gonna swap that out for a different item.
What does the Cloak of the Manta Ray even do again?
Gives you swim speed.
There's a river, I did
in a
say,
mountain?
but...
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna need that. I'm gonna take the like some dark vision goggles instead.
That's probably a good idea. But I don't think Cloak of the Manta Ray is a bad item. I just don't think it is very applicable right now. Oh, my notebook.
Oh no!
Let's figure out.
Oh no. Without my notes, what will I do?
And we all win!
No. Oh, I even had that written down. Okay. Okay. Okay.
How many infusions do I get?
So,
Sorry, I'll look that up.
as you are all leaving, the communications system kind of beeps to life, and it starts printing out like a bunch of stuff, and the crystal starts flashing, and then it starts projecting a message from Hugo Greene, everybody's absolute favorite.
Good.
He says that perhaps you had heard that something had befallen me, but unfortunately that was a body double I use in dangerous situations. I am safe and sound here, back on Wyan Yoth, and hoping to avoid any more unfortunateness regarding the formation of an illegal labor movement.
Not illegal. I read the very legal action.
He says, he basically, like, predicting that you would say that, like, in, like, a win for him. Like, you could tell he's smug about it. Actually, he says, the governing council of Wyan Yoth has just declared Elsyer an wholly subsidiary-owned property of the Greene Corporation, and that no government entities' laws technically apply to Elsyer, only corporate policy.
He Disney us?
He Disneyed you.
Oh no!
If he wants to try and enforce that, he is welcome to come down here and try.
And he says, in the next 2 weeks, he will come down and establish order.
Don't like that. Don't like that at all.
He says that he hopes that this can be achieved peaceably and civilly, and that you all will do the right thing.
Fred, name the cannery name the cannery battery facility, whatever it is. Name the cannon civility, please.
Oh, I can do that. You see him just buzz out of one room on his like electric wheelchair into the next room, like, and you just hear like immediate like tink 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 tink.
Just like how I named one of my gauntlets subtlety.
People are like, the fuck? Like,
Remind me to make Wheezy a gun.
Wheezy's like she's a Warforged, so she doesn't have pupils, but her her like eyes are getting small, and you're like, I don't think they're supposed to do that. And she's just like, I don't want a gun. I need to be up close.
Oh.
So a
Okay.
knife. Do you have a knife?
I mean, we can make you a little gun as like a treat.
Oh, just as a treat? Just as a treat? That's cool. Meanwhile, Bits is like pulling out a bunch of knives. I've been here the whole time. Yeah. So Commander Crawford's just like, really? Like he's gonna, okay. His petty fiefdom, I guess, is more important.
Of course it is.
Because he got his little feelings hurt. Aw. I guess he did kill him. I'm sorry, he exploded.
He
He exploded.
His body double met with an unfortunate
His
accident.
body double, which some people are like, I guess that explains the Warforged of it. That's kind of crappy, though. Yeah. So Commander Crawford's just like, I guess go find that new mine and maybe we'll just move camps. And then he can have this with the, no, he can't have, wow, we have to protect this. Damn it. Stupid morality. God damn you, Mama Crawford, for instilling with me a conscience.
How easy is it to redraw ley lines and move elemental pillars?
Oh boy. Claire. How easy is that?
It's not.
Okay, so you did know the answer then.
I knew the answer to that. It's just like, oh. You tied an important, scary thing to location and you did it on purpose. Jerk.
Me?
You.
I'm innocent.
Monster?
The gods did it. Okay.
Oh, okay. So I don't think I actually can swap. I have to I can only do that when they level up.
You have literally never used Cloak of the Manta Ray. If you want to switch it, that's absolutely fine.
Okay, can I switch to Goggles of the Night?
That sounds
I'm
great.
the only one here who
Yep.
doesn't have dark vision.
You know, if it had been something you like used all the time, I'd be like, just wait a couple episodes, you're gonna get a level or whatever. But no, you've never used it. It's cool. Sometimes you
I'm pretty sure I can make more of them.
Oh
so
yeah, I'm sure you can. Yeah.
I don't think you have dark vision either.
Anything you make as an infusion stays made and created unless you change that infusion as a level.
Right.
Gotcha. I've had a Cloak of the Manta Ray the whole time. I don't know what you're talking about. Goggles of the Night.
Yeah, every single time that you've described Clangley, you've described him wearing this super cool cloak that
Made of
he uses.
like leathery
all the
manta ray
time.
skin.
It makes way more sense that he would just have like an optical lens with where his eyes would normally be. Like a camera, and he just got a night feature on it. He got a flash mode.
It's just flashing constantly. It's, oh
Yeah,
god.
it is a night vision.
It's like, yeah, it's like one of those savannah shots of the lion like pouncing, just flashing constantly. You've angered it. What are you doing? This is how you get eat by lions. Okay. So, would you all like to continue going to look for that new mine, or do you want to change course?
I mean, what are we supposed to do here? Like, should we, like... We're gonna have, like, a Blair Mountain type style standoff? Like, are we gonna have to start building fortifications?
Yes.
Not Harry. Greene has essentially declared war. Perhaps we should act appropriately.
Oh, I just realized. if the laws don't apply here, that means they don't apply to us either. And you're not
The most
sure
we can
you
get for being murdered is fired. For murdering is fired.
Now, it's actually just 2 demerits. So
really?
it depends. There's
Clangley
situational.
takes out a copy of the contract and says,
Like,
"Holy shit!"
if you murder one of your inferiors, well, what are the circumstances of it? It's not a good company.
Issabel is already drawing plans for like an anti-aircraft battery.
Okay.
You can shoot the drop jammer down, then it's less of a problem here.
Now, there is the issue of the fact that a lot of people just got here. I don't know if they're really going to be excited to declare. Also, we don't have an air force, and I think Greene is an air force.
You have unarmed drop jammers.
We can arm them.
You can arm them.
We can arm them.
You have 4 functional drop jammers.
Also, Clangley, you are quite persuasive. Even though many people haven't been here for very long, I'm sure if you talk to them, they would be on our side.
That's a lot of pressure.
I don't mean to put that on you. I'm sorry.
No, but you're
You
right.
don't have to do that if you don't want to.
It's not so much a want as a have to.
Oh, also they can't make drop jammer fuel.
It's very difficult for them to, yeah.
No. At the moment, it's illegal to.
Was that in the company policy?
The company that holds the rights to manufacturing drop jammer fuel says yes.
But they want. I mean, oh. No, yep, they can't. They can't manufacture it on Wyan Yoth.
Can't manufacture it on Wyan Yoth. They can't manufacture it without Issabel's permission. Technically, Issabel can't set up another company to make it on her own, but she can make it for her own personal use.
Now, they have more firepower than me. But they did just kind of write us a blank check. Now, I don't think that we should, make public our intention to go to war just yet. Even if that isn't our intention. Let's not do anything rash.
Oh, it's his intention.
Look, it is an option. It's an option.
I think you're assuming the best of someone who has nothing but the worst intentions.
It's gonna be really bad
It is.
when he gets here.
Andy, can I make an insight check into, what this assault is going to entail, what and who they're going to send?
Sure, yeah. Yeah, sort of like a military strategy kind of insight check, sure.
It's actually not bad. I got a 16.
Okay. So, let me think. His resources are vast, and there are certainly rumors that he basically has a private, sort of goon, Pinkerton-style, cop force on his payroll. Kind of people who probably fell out of, legitimate guard or mercenary services because they're a little unstable. So he certainly has people willing to fight for him. Drop jammers, at the best of times, are not... the current technology is such that they're not going to be able to, they're not great, dog fighting. There's not a fighter jet version of a drop jammer. They could probably... Yet. They could probably bomb you for sure, or like have like a large like mounted minigun or kind of plasma rifle kind of thing on the side. But like they're slow at the best of times. They're not maneuverable. You could absolutely shoot them out of the sky.
Do we have confirmation that he's coming with an invasion force?
No.
Do I think he's gonna come himself? He's gonna send another body double.
Given his ego, yes. And you think this version will be will probably be superior in some way, like upgraded. He's not going to die again, kind of thing. That doesn't mean he's unkillable. It just means he also doesn't know how you killed him the first time. So it might be sort of general armor kind of stuff, big, not underestimating people this time, kind of thing. Loaded to bear.
Things I could do than killing.
Oh shit!
So is this just gonna be another body double though?
Claire's gonna look at Clangley and she's gonna say, "Do you know the story of that company that that was upselling medicine that was vital to many of the populations on Wyan Yoth, but then someone created an advertisement that looked convincingly like the company's advertisements, and all of a sudden the value of their stock went down and they were forced to lower the price?"
Yes, I do remember that story. That is totally exclusive to this campaign.
It's a fantasy. Am I right?
Yeah,
Of course.
I intend to do something similar.
Oh my.
Oh,
And a lot more direct.
Someone made Claire mad, and that was a mistake on my part. I think. I think I fucked up, guys.
Allow me to play an unhinged
Are
gonna
we
play her-
going to flash crash Greene Corporation by making people on Wyan Yoth think that Hugo Greene is dead?
I think that given enough magical power and connection, I can take over his body.
I mean,
Okay.
well, I gotta get something to fidget with.
Are you sure you know what you're doing?
I know what I'm doing better than he thinks I does. Better than he thinks I do. Does
Words are
do
hard.
strange.
Words are hard and our thoughts are elsewhere.
There's a lot happening.
I don't know what you mean by take control of it.
Hugo Greene put an inferior copy of his soul into that body double. That's what happened, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is a non-autonomous mechanical creation.
I know how he did it, and I think I can reverse engineer it so that I can take control. Because I'm the one who created that process. Now, granted, I would never put an inferior copy of a soul into a Warforged. That's amateur. But I think I can do it.
Maybe it's just an ego thing that he didn't want any equals of him, quote unquote, running around. It's almost certainly an ego. Oh my god.
He can outfit it all he wants. But magically, the process remains the same. And I can hijack it.
This is a very risky proposition.
Most of the best ones are.
Now, what will happen to you when you hijack it? Are you implanting your own consciousness into fake Hugo Greene?
I would be extending it.
Okay.
It would put strain, but with enough magical power, I think I can do it. My experiments these past couple of months have shown me that the residuum found on this planet have an interesting effect, an amplifying effect on my necromantic abilities. And I think I can use that.
Well, it might be our best shot to take down Greene Corporation. So.
How long do we have? Bless you.
See you.
Good.
Sorry.
Did?
He said within a week he'd be back.
Oh, I thought it was 2 weeks.
Yeah, I thought you said 2.
It's within 2 weeks. He's got to scrounge up all the residuum fuel he can, and organize his troops and get his better body. Within 2 weeks. So
on
2 weeks.
All residuum fuel. Why'd they let you patent that?
Because I invented it and it was novel enough.
Yeah, but that's like
How patents work.
I know that's how patents. That seems like a very broad patent.
Oh, they were not happy about it at all, but
All right. I mean, hey, if it
technically
works,
it's a
it
patent
works.
for adding residuum to any sort of burned fuel. So really, it's just an incredibly broad patent. It's fantastic.
Wow. Okay.
Also, Issabel is like 80% not here. She's already assigning engineers to different tasks. She's like, Bits, go work with Dalton. I want that ship faster, stronger, better than any of the other drop jammers that he's going to bring.
Boss, do you want it to be more explosive?
I don't want it to explode, but if it can make other drop jammers explode.
I think I can do that.
I know you can.
All right, Wheezy. It's time to gather up our old army buddies and.
Yeah.
Just in case.
A bunch of them owe us favors. Okay.
Well, a bunch of them are here. They came with us.
No, yeah. I know, and they owe us favors. And me a lot of money. I'm very good at poker.
Really?
Yeah. Fantasy poker. I gotta go.
Wyan Yoth Hold'em.
Yeah, it's not Texas Hold'em. It's intellectually just. It's Backer. Have you ever heard of Baccarat? I don't know how to play it, honestly. I don't know how I keep winning.
Yeah, that sounds like Wheezy.
All Hatton vs. Poker tournament, Wheezy versus Fetch. Let's go.
Just the two deadest bears we've ever seen.
Then, Wynne, do you know of any place where I can find bones? And lots of them.
Ven has an answer you will not like.
Me or Wynne?
The player Mira. But also Wynne and Liz.
Oh no.
If you want a bunch of bones, they're in the Titan Vault. It's a battlefield.
Oh no.
No, veto.
And
veto,
almost certainly they've
veto.
all turned to residuum by now. Like pure residuum.
Would you like access to a drop jammer generator?
I think that would be helpful.
Good.
But I need organic material. Dead organic material.
We can just get some from the glade.
Oh,
Literally everywhere. Oh, where's the apple guy? Magic apple. Where is he?
He's just.
he's a tree.
Yeah, they're just on the where Wynne planted them, basically. Thump thump. Hey.
I mean, that is easier than my thought of let's go Jersey devil hunting.
It's apples. The residuum apples. Among other things.
New Jersey devil hunting is not a bad idea.
Yeah. Didn't we go to the New Jersey,
You went to New Jersey. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we went to New Jersey.
Yep.
You went to the Pine Barrens, but yes.
Take a quick pit stop in New Jersey.
Just go to real life New Jersey. You gotta pay to leave. That's how they get you.
Really?
Yeah, it's Pennsylvania's.
Loud.
It's Pennsylvania's fault. Our toll system is abhorrent. So.
Well, if I go to Jersey, I have a friend that I can kick. So.
All right. I think we should just take it from the danger glade. I feel like that's very easy.
We need bones.
You have some bones, Claire. Not
Yeah,
a lot.
lots of bones.
I need more
But-
bones.
Claire, can I get a perception check, please?
We just
Oh,
like put
Lord.
logs there. Anyways.
That was almost a natural 20, and I hate that it's a 2.
Oh.
So it's
You have
3.
inspiration?
Okay.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna use one of my inspirations
Okay.
on that. Fuck that too. That's better. That's an 18.
Okay. As you're kind of like assessing the bones you have on your person, basically, as you're rooting through one of the bags, you can hear this very faint sound. And if you kind of look through the bones that you placed in the mine downstairs, underneath you by the Titan vault that like instantly turned to residuum, you can hear very faint voices coming from them.
Oh no.
That's cursed as fuck.
Can I hear what they are saying?
Do you want to?
Claire has a natural curiosity, so yes.
You can hear it. It takes a minute because you're trying to focus. It's a group of voices, and maybe even heard is like the wrong way to describe it because it's almost like they're being like inscribed on your brain. You just understand them, and you understand their different voices, but they're arguing about the mortals.
Those mortals?
Yes, basically, like, they found a Titan vault. Like, they can't be trusted. We need to intervene. And, then there's another voice being like, absolutely not. Like, we have to trust them. And another voice like, we can't. They can't be trusted. We need to exert control.
Arcana check.
Yeah, sure.
Congratulations, you've heard gods bickering.
That is also an 18.
Yeah, exactly that. These are the gods bickering.
The gods?
The gods. You can pretty distinctly pick out 10 different voices. And one of them's all like, oh, my werewolves. And you're like, ah, fuck, it's Paylork again.
This
Guy.
asshole.
Like, let me just turn everybody into werewolves. I mean, am I right? How will that solve our problem? What problem?
Claire's gonna shove the bone back into her bag. And she's like, the gods are arguing about whether or not to kill us. I have some pretty
Pardon?
nice words for them. I'm glad that she's going to, like,
I'm going
march
to
off.
need you.
No, Claire left. Claire left. She technically has a faster walk speed than you.
To where the priests are.
Okay, yeah.
And like barge in and be like, I need to make a phone call.
Okay, what? To anyone in particular, or just like the first one? First one's probably Evangeline.
Yeah, I guess I'll talk to Evangeline.
Okay.
Claire doesn't know much about religion.
There is a
Walk into a room full of priests. Which one of you is the most important?
they all raise their hand.
Of course.
Fuck. You bust in. There is a black woman, braided hair. She has like a burning halo above her head, and she's wearing very plain white robes that have it's kind of like it's like a magic eye puzzle of a pattern almost. And when your eyes kind of focus on it, you realize it's a bunch of shepherd's crooks kind of interlocking and overcrossing. So it looks like almost like Celtic knots, but you realize that they're just a bunch of different shepherd's crook. And she's like, "May I help you?"
Claire is gonna like hold the bone up to this lady.
This means a lot to me, actually. What can I help you with? Do you need guidance on voices heard?
I need the gods to know that if they do not help, somebody a lot worse is going to get a hold of their Titan Vault.
I will pray.
Pray hard.
Thoughts and prayers, everyone.
At least my prayers heal people? Is that a thing?
All
Is that
of
good
you.
at least?
Pray hard.
all the other priests start a praying. Claire, you can hear the voices get very confused. Be like, who's live streaming this from their pocket? Like,
You're not muted.
kind of. Oh. Forgotten one. What? It's good PR.
Oh, your thing was you forgot.
Actually, if they would say the Forgotten One name, it basically looks redacted in your mind. They don't call... Yeah, to be fair, they don't call him the Forgotten One. It's just redacted.
It's hilarious.
They all kind of pause for a minute, and like the one who is clearly one of the more sane voices, was like, "We need to trust that these people, whomst we have given everything to and fought everything for, will protect that Titan Vault with our blessing." And a couple other people kind of grumble, but in unison they just say, "With our blessing." The singled out voice says, "Child, the elemental Voltron is at your service and your command."
Can I transfer that command to somebody else?
Sure.
I don't trust myself with that responsibility.
And the woman's voice says, "The vault will hold."
Let's sure hope it does.
Also, if anyone tells Hugo about the Titan Vault in any capacity whatsoever,
You will meet your god very quickly.
Bits gets to decide the punishment, actually. I'm gonna let Bits decide. He gets to pick the punishment.
Ooh.
Bits appears. "I've been here the whole time. I would like that very much."
You would not like that at all.
Wheezy gets
You
to
would.
help, actually. Wheezy gets to help.
Oh man, now I gotta think of like 3 dimensions now.
Claire's gonna reemerge from where the priests are and like look at her party and be like, "Who wants to command the elemental Voltron?"
I was gonna say I vote Wynne.
Bits raises his hand. No, okay, that's fair. I guess Wynne.
No,
Pretty good.
think
I've always
that's
supported you, Wynne.
technically-
You already got one bit. You already got one boon today, Whip Bits.
Okay.
Shouldn't you be working on a drop jammer
I'm
right now?
multitasking.
Also,
I've
If
been
I
here.
ask
Neither
Elvin
Bits
where you
is
win,
in
what
a
is he
circle
going to
now.
tell me?
Are-
I've
are
been
we
here the whole
telling
time.
Bits everything?
I've been here the whole time.
Okay.
I'm part of the 5, right?
Kind of, I guess.
Wheezy just kind of drive by drags him. I've been here the whole
Level 6.
time.
It's like a 4 asterisk, is how I think of it. It's a 4 and up to 8, depending on who's around at the time.
Yeah, and you can hear Dalton be like,
It's
"Where
always
did you
there."
go? I'm not doing your grunt work for you, dude." Okay.
Great.
Oh, not you. He was yelling at Bits. Okay. What else?
Do we have any guns?
Yeah.
The guns.
Yeah, guns.
Mhm.
Okay.
Make guns.
And technically,
On it.
yeah, technically, Issa has a different, superior gun design than the guns that they have here.
Was not, planning on just trying to get resources onto the plan to start up a weapon manufacturer for us in case this happened. That just got accelerated. So that's fun.
Well, we do have the mine.
Oh yeah, we have to go make a new mine.
We could get materials from the mine.
I'm not sleeping for the next 2 weeks, am I?
I don't sleep anyways.
Just take a quick 3-level dip in Warlock or whatever you need to get that invocation where you don't sleep anymore.
I mean, I do technically pray to a god that doesn't exist here, so... You want to give me 3 levels real quick?
Interesting. Interesting.
Look, I'd offer to carry you so you could sleep on the way there, but that feels very demeaning.
Nope, you offered.
Right.
You're already in like a backpack. Here we go.
Yeah. Is that or a baby Bjorn? And I don't think Issa wants that.
No.
Clangley's default is probably carrying like 200 to 300 pounds of equipment, though, so...
Well, if you bring in Rick with you, he's got like mech armor, so he can definitely pick up a lot of stuff. I think I said
Alright.
before, he's got like that Goliath class feature basically that lets him carry as if he were a large creature.
Now, Rick, you know what? Come along.
A smaller hand comes out of his robot arm to give you a thumbs up. Because he's carrying a bunch of
Made
stuff.
That thing. It is really impressive.
Thank you. It took me a long time.
14 levels in artifact.
Okay. So you all head out to the mountains. So, oh, pardon me. You cross over Frostbite's Ice Bridge, past Hot Spring Hamlet. Anything you need to pick up, then feel free. And
Right here.
Fred is working on an anti-air cannon, basically.
do we go past Old Fredonia? I don't know what it would be called now.
Go in the opposite direction, right?
You are technically going in the opposite direction.
I'm sorry, I don't have a map on me right now.
You can pass it. It's not like it's super far out of the way, but it is to the east, and you're heading north. So, I am looking at a map. So / I made it up. So you head north to the Hot Spring Hamlet, and takes about a day total to get to get towards the mountains and into that area. So you see the first thing you notice as you're approaching the mountains is indeed a river. Can I get nature checks from everyone, please?
I don't
Probably
speak
not.
nature. I do have a +4 though. So. Oh shit! That's a
Apparently, you
23.
may.
Ooh.
Actually,
22.
I do speak nature.
Jeez. Okay, we got...
So glad everybody else in this party can do that, because I got a 12.
I did it because I rolled a nat 20.
I also rolled a nat 20.
Dang.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We know the shit out of this river.
Yeah. Clangley?
I got a 23.
Okay. Yep. Okay. So,
I believe this river has all the strength of a coursing there.
yes.
But what's just around its bend, we know that.
We are rolling.
So 20's up with the river. Notice something odd about it. It's not flowing like a river should. It seems like basically every 5 feet the water flows in a totally different direction. Like it's just constantly changed. Like it should, rivers should flow one way. Occasionally the flow will reverse if something weird happens, but they flow one way. This one is kind of just all over the place. And since everyone rolled extraordinarily high, it weirdly looks like the water is almost different colors, very subtly, but it's almost as if they're different waters flowing in each little segment, kind of in their own direction and weirdness.
Is that a portal lake?
Uh-huh. What?
Clangley's gonna very carefully kind of stick a hand in.
I was gonna say poke it with a stick, but...
If he loses a hand, he can make another one.
Fair.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Tomb of Annihilation's a lot less scary for you. Oh no! I guess I'll build another one.
A better one.
I have 2 spares back at camp.
Yeah, so Issa's poking it with a stick. Clangley's touching it. Nothing bad happens if you touch it, I will say that.
Yay.
But your hand instantly feels cold. And not in a, oh my goodness, the temperature is cold way. Almost in a way as if it's been disconnected from your hand, your arm. But if you pull out, you feel it, it's fine. But it's almost like the power has been shut off. You can still move it and everything. It's nothing like that. But it's something is dulling the senses of your hand while it's in there.
Alright, I'm going to do something dangerous. Clangley's gonna stick his whole head in the water.
Okay.
Hey, have a real quick detect magic.
Okay. With that, sorry, I have to...
Now that I remember that we can pretty much all do that.
Yes. I have to run to the bathroom real fast. I will be right fast. on the edge of your seats, everyone. Be right back. Sorry.
Probably should have stuck my head on the water out of everyone.
And we all win, and everything was great, and Hugo Greene just wasn't anymore. He just poofed out of existence.
Mm-hmm. Hugo Greene gave all his money to charity.
Lost all his money buying a company at 10 times the value just to annoy
tank
people. Yeah.
He bought this
And then
really cool picture of a monkey.
And then he leveraged all of his other assets to try and prop up the monkey and the website he bought. And that didn't work. So... keep your politics out of my fantasy.
Exactly.
When have we ever been political?
Never. Not once.
Ever.
Oh, I thought that was a new plushie in Andy's background, but no, it's just his Snorlax just laying down.
He's resting.
He's resting.
As a Snorlax does.
Sorry.
Hi, we won while you were gone.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, good game, everybody. Good campaign. I'm glad you defeated the evil capitalist.
That phrase is a little redundant, I think.
Oh, that's fair. Okay. Detect magic first, and then we're to what happens to Clangley. Detect magic. So every bit of the river that is flowing different, that looks different, is its own individual source of divination magic.
Okay.
Clangley, dunking your head full in. What would be a very warm and positive memory that Clangley has from specifically his young sapience? You don't really have a young adolescence, but
How young? Because for the first couple of years, it was just lift up box, put box elsewhere, lift up.
I am
box.
Clangley, please insert girder.
Yeah, basically. Probably the first couple. Probably the first moments that were not that. Like when he realized the beauty of existence, and that he was alive.
okay.
Kind of just stopped working, just stared up at the sky for a bit, and then went back to working.
You perfectly recall that as if you were living it again.
There's more to life than girders.
You're not wrong. It's... What happened?
Wow. Highly recommend it, but maybe also don't recommend it. It's confusing. Anyways.
What happened?
I saw a moment of my life that was quite precious to me. Stacking boxes, and then something happened, and then I continued to stack boxes.
I discovered my Union 15. It was amazing.
I'm glad that moment is precious to you.
I think I remember the moment I gained sapience.
Oh!
Oh, whoa.
I know, right? I was so bulky back then. I didn't have any of these parts. Don't think about it too hard. I've done the Ship of Theseus thing a couple of times.
Well, I was going to say, these are all pockets of divination magic. Somehow.
That
And we
checks
didn't
out.
bring a diviner.
Do you think one of them sees into the future?
Apparently
Can I
that
do an
one sees
Arcana
into the
check?
past.
Yeah, you can make an Arcana check, sure.
I'm just rolling 18s off the bat.
18s are good.
Yeah. And you get to add a bunch to that, right?
Oh no, I keep rolling 11s.
Oh,
but I
okay, to get
add
to
7,
18.
so I
Perfect.
get 18.
Perfect. Okay. So yeah, with an Arcana check, and with Issa's saying, like, they're all different sources of divination magic. Yeah, you think if you insert your head or body, you know, your thinking parts, into these bits, you would remember, or possibly, it is possible to see the future, maybe, a different part of your life. They may not all be pleasant.
Oh.
And when
Do I have
Clangley...
a sense?
Mhm.
Oh, go ahead.
No, sorry. When Clangley put his hand in, it's because his hand basically was cut off from the time stream. So, so when you pull it back out, it's fine. But when you put it in, it's going to feel all weird, like it has never been.
I was remembering the time that my hand touched something, probably.
Your hand was like, I remember touching that thing. That was pretty cool.
Do I have a sense of which one of these would be the future?
Would any of them be the future?
It's possible. With an 8, you think maybe if you had rolled a little higher, you might be able to determine that. With an 18, that's a little hard to say. This is weird.
You invented a literal time stream, yes. It's
Yes.
a bit unusual.
Oh, I get the point now.
Wynne will pick a random point and stick her head into.
Okay. But distinct from Clangley's.
Distinct from Clangley's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on, let's roll a die. Perfect. Ow. Okay. Wynne, what would be a time you remember where you were just exceptionally sad?
I think Wynne's family would have had like their own little garden that they would try to make vegetables out of, and it is just the absolute saddest looking garden you ever saw. So Wynne got her own little plant that she tried very hard to grow, and it just never would grow.
Oh. So the sad Charlie Brown pumpkin just...
Not even like Charlie Brown pumpkin. It's like barely like got one little shrivel, and then it never flowered or grew anything.
Oh.
And it was always mysteriously singed.
Well, you remember that. Going out each morning, being disappointed again. Probably just grow. Yeah.
See spices written on the... It was like a pepper plant.
Question mark?
That's so sad.
Okay, Wynne will like pull her head out.
Are we all doing this?
I mean, mine was sad, so I don't know if you want to do that.
I feel I'm much more needed in the present than I am in the past.
You know, going into my past actually might help. And she'll kind of like glance at Issa when she says that.
It might, actually.
Oh, I think I'm starting to catch on to what's... Oh.
Good luck!
Here goes nothing!
Come
Heads into a distinct one from Clangley and Wynne's.
Okay. Okay. You remember a moment from your past where you were feeling particularly inspired. It was random. I rolled it random. I promise. Using an emotions wheel and everything.
First try.
I think Claire, back in her human body, over a decade ago, long ago, is standing in front of a shop display of a brand new Warforged that is not been activated yet, so it's not awake or alive. But she's reading the advertisement that says, doesn't have to sleep, never gets tired, like very out there claims of no pain, no injury, and then the last thing is no death. And like a light bulb goes off in her head. This is how I do it.
No will to break, no mouth to call for help.
Inspiration to everyone who put their head in.
That's fine, I have enough.
What do you need? 15? Come on.
I'm only at 10.
Oh, you spent one, I think, last episode.
Yes, I did.
I've lost track. I'm just going to say I have one.
I can't. Well, we'd also have to figure out when I started saying you could stack them. You spend them, Dan. Like you do not hoard them. So saying you have one, you almost certainly earned one last episode. So you probably have two. Anyway. Okay. What else would you all like to do?
Claire like put her head up, and it's the most anticlimactic thing you've ever seen in your life. And she's just like, that wasn't the future. But it does help.
Well, I'm glad you didn't have an unpleasant experience.
There would, if we continue to go into the past, there would most certainly be unpleasant experiences.
Quite. Anyway, about crossing this river.
You can cross it.
Is it particularly wide? Like, how difficult would it be to cross?
Not terribly difficult. Now, the hard part might be, if you submerge your head, you do seem to go somewhere else. Like, you kind of become disconnected from your current body a little bit.
Is there like a fallen tree branch or that log or anything nearby?
Am I looking at the map? Like, that would be on the map. No. Sorry.
Hang on. How far is it across?
It's 10 feet wide.
Oh,
We even
yeah.
had
I
a
missed
contract
it
with
across.
us, though, so we're going to need to figure out a permanent solution to this.
I have the spell Water Walk.
Okay, that is
Damn druids.
I was just going to ask Rick to toss me.
No, okay.
How many people does that work on? Eight with us, I think.
Let's see. What
Up to 10 willing creatures.
Yep, no, we're
Jesus
fine.
Christ.
That'll work.
It's a person or two.
Actually, if you have shape water, we could freeze it. Although I don't know if we should freeze the time stream. That might be a bad idea.
Yeah.
We're not going to do that. We're not going to freeze the time stream. I apologize.
Yes.
Water Walk is very misleadingly named because the cooler thing it should be is Lava Walk. You can walk on lava.
What? So cool.
This spell grants you the ability to move across any liquid surface, such as water, acid, mud, snow, quicksand, or lava. As
It's
if
like a second level spell.
it's a third level spell.
Thanks, it's not like the other.
But yeah, and it says you still take heat damage from the lava, but I mean, it's you don't incinerate instantly.
All right.
Should be clear to
let's
cold
walk
lava
across
walk.
the water.
Okay,
Well, we walk across.
you
time,
walk
apparently.
across it. Yeah.
You all just have to stand in a circle for a sec so I can hold hands.
We have to sing a song.
No, you just gotta hold hands for about 10 minutes. Or, yeah, it's a ritual, right?
I think it is. Hold on. Yes, it's a ritual. I love that you're like, you have to hold hands. You absolutely do not. But Wynn's the only druid. I guess you have to hold hands.
Wynne just wants us to be good old friends. It's so good.
Hey, Isabel's not complaining. Like, she was all for
Man,
singing a song.
I
if that
love
was
it.
Part of it, but
I absolutely love it.
There is probably a druidic hymn or something, but none of us speak druidic.
No,
except
I
Wynne.
think there's like materials too.
Yeah, you have to use a piece of cork.
well,
But
Cork didn't come. with
Not
us.
cork. Not that cork. Inspiration Jay, inspiration Wynne. Liz. You all pass across the time stream. Speaking of,
Simple
we have an hour
solution,
left.
simple problem, simple solution.
Clara's gonna try something, not stupid. But she
This
wants to
time?
see what happens if she puts a mage hand in there.
Hold on, I need to look up Mage Hand real fast.
Your mage hand remembers a time.
Mage hand isn't conscious though. It's like one of those extendo arms.
I think the hand just disappears because it goes to a time it never existed.
Claire plays with that just a little. She's like, boop, 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 boop. And she kind of giggles to herself, which is an absolutely unnerving sound, and then she continues to walk.
There's like a dimension somewhere that just got like 5 hand. What is going
The hands are back.
Wait, can I, like, project a couple out and see if I can hit the one that's possibly the future?
It just comes back and slaps you in the face.
to say?
Oh boy, I think the answer is because in the it would also possibly not exist in the future. It would still just disappear. But no,
Does it pop out of one of the other ones at one point?
that's an that's funny.
And this one leads to the present.
This is regular water. Up there is just regular water, everybody. We can drink that. Don't drink any of the time stuff. Or do. Yeah, you know what?
Giant
It's
sword
funner.
launches.
Fun is funner. You can figure out using the mage hand. Usually they just disappear, but the one you throw a mage hand into, and yet the mage hand just kind of appears behind you again, as if like coming out of the future. I don't know.
Ooh. It wouldn't be a graceful episode if I didn't propose some magical bullshit that had to make anything.
I didn't even think there was a future. I thought it was memories only.
Well, if it's divination, then we could possibly get, like, a thing in the future. Can Claire get to that one?
Sure.
That bit of water.
Yeah.
All right, we're going in.
Okay.
I can't believe this worked, but I'm pleased it did.
Just
The
like
hand
a
reappears
rope.
now.
Tied around Claire's waist, ready to yank her out if need be.
6. Okay, let's...
Is it like the near future, and you just get one of those like the old time where they used to like record
Claire
TVs
pops
going
her
in?
head into the thing.
You just see yourself pulling your head out of the water? Fuck!
Well, it is technically the future.
What a waste!
It's really disorienting too. It's like pulling out of the water and then pulling out of the water again. It's like, what? It's like waking up from a dream in a dream.
Okay. Claire, you blink your eyes, and you are back in Wyan Yoth. The street, that horrible pea fog, pea green fog, like it's
Okay.
just... Sorry, yes. Yes, in retrospect, I had peas for dinner, so that was on my mind of the
It's just
pea
that
green
horrible
fog.
piss fog.
Just a piss fog. It's like that,
I mean, depending upon the part of town.
yeah, you're in the tannery. The pea soup fog is the phrase. That's it. But it's also green, which you can breathe because you're a Warforged. But you can see and hear other people hacking up just bile and phlegm. You're in a section of town you don't think you've ever been in before. Not that you, Claire, remember. And looking down, your kind of the robes covering your body are tattered. You don't seem to... Your body looks like it's in poor repair. Like the ceramic is chipped in many places. You can see any metal bits have started to rust, and the wood is tarnished and knotty and rotten. And you just feel this overwhelming feeling of loneliness.
Cool. Love it. Yeah, Claire's not gonna stay in there. She pulls her head back out of the water.
So do we win?
I survive long enough to make it back to Wyan Yoth. And that's about as much as I could take.
Is that good? Do we not know? Let's not know. Let's not worry about it. Anyway, mountains! Because Issabel is legitimately excited for mountains. She misses them.
Oh, nobody else is gonna experience the horrors? Alright, just me?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought this was like a team building thing. No? Okay, cool.
Would
Lori,
it make
do not.
it make Claire feel better?
Not necessarily. But I, the player, think it's very funny that a bunch of people did the past thing, but only Claire does the future.
It's like in an episode of Shattered Kingdoms, a couple back, Marty walks into an obvious danger room, and Cece lines up behind him, and then says, "I look into the room." And Marty's like, "Really? You look into the room? Like you're not gonna help me?"
Help you from out here.
Yeah.
I know. Here's the thing. If we're looking at that future, Clangley's dead. Like, he has been disassembled by Greene Corporation.
You might see something different.
Clangley will stick his head in.
Okay.
Shit, now Is also curious.
Does Clangley just get all the good ones?
He did get a good one. Clangley, you... Clangley, you are, you see yourself, or, you witness around you. You're high up on Wyan Yoth, in one of the taller buildings, on a balcony. And the sky is bright and clear up here, something that you don't often see. It's actually blue. And passing by, you just see hundreds of beautifully adorned airships. And it's just breathtaking in a way that Wyan Yoth isn't. It's usually cramped and dirty and, sooty and foggy. And up here, it's just open and beautiful. And if you could smell the air, you would be able to tell it's clean. And it's just sort of...
Zero impurities detected.
Yeah, it's just sort of nice.
Finally, we'll take his head out and say, I think I got a different one.
Now, if Yoda were here, he would say, the future always in motion it is, B. These things maybe come to pass, you.
Always in motion the future is.
That's it. I was close. And then he proceeds to not help Anakin. So.
Or anyone, really.
He's the worst. So. Anyone else?
Yes.
Okay.
We're all really curious now.
I'm not. I'm good out here.
I don't need this. Turns out.
I already had a sad
I got
start,
the
and I don't
sad
need
one.
a sad future.
Okay. Issa, you... Oh, also, if you put your head back in, you think you might experience something different. Like, it does not always... it does not always trigger the same possible scenario. Issa, you are back home. The Forgotten Realms. In an expansive mountain home. Catacombs and carved into the side, like you can like walk out into like an open air, like you're like a James Bond villain, but nice. And you just have workshops, and it's just what is the word? Oh, you just feel at peace, like you've accomplished everything you've ever wanted.
Oh. Well. That wasn't unpleasant.
Yeah, sorry, Claire. I think you got the shitty one.
Claire just looks like very, very subtly haunted.
We're not gonna do that again. Let's go. How you doing, Claire? What are your interests? What are your hobbies?
Still not a hugger. Still not a hugger.
Are you sure you want the answer to that question?
Maybe not right now, but eventually, yes.
I will not judge.
Back on Wyan Yoth, I took an interest in taxidermy, but given that many popular taxidermy animals were not readily available in Wyan Yoth, I took to taxidermying some of the city animals.
Oh, like rats and pigeons.
And other things.
Yes, rats and pigeons.
Anyways, moving on.
Just another haunted memory from Claire. Okay. Before y'all leave, can I get... Claire, you've rolled an 18 Arcana before, is that right?
Yep.
Okay. There is one other thing. And Detect Magic would have detected this as well. Some of the stones in the in a part of the river seem to have absorbed some of the magical properties and are basically magic items.
Can I mage hand retrieve one of them?
Sure.
Time rocks.
It probably works because in the future, the hand will come back out with the stones, you know?
Oh, no. Okay, let's see.
It's like you're looking at the rock, and before you cast the mage hand, you see a mage hand pick the rock up and vanish. Floral shenanigans.
Oh no.
Claire, this stone is a stone of spell storing. It functions the same way as a ring of spell storing, which means the stone. I will send you the link to it as well, but stores spells cast upon them, holding them until the attuned wearer uses them. Up to 5 levels worth of spells at a time. Oh, you had a ring of spell storing last campaign as well. Weird. But yeah, I will. Oh, let me send it to you. I'll send it to the group.
Is there a spell stored in it currently, or is it just empty?
There is a spell stored in it currently. It is... I never remember which divination spell is which, so hold on just a second.
I might need one to turn it into a rock of exploding.
Is that... That's Wheeler Woe. It's not Wheeler Woe. It is... Clairvoyance is stored in it currently.
Which doesn't do what it sounds like it does. It doesn't actually give you clairvoyance. It lets you spy on things.
What is the... in old editions, there was clairvoyance and clairaudience, which let you hear things from a different place. They just combined them in this version.
It's the same spell now, you just pick one or the other.
Yeah, exactly. So... send ring of spell storing.
As Marty says, it is your very own voyance, Claire.
I'm glad someone made the joke. Thank you, Marty.
Yeah, what the heck? The other thing, the other stone that is magical, is a stone of recall, which lets you once a day cast Word of Recall.
So we got both.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yay.
Keep fishing.
Small
Maybe
price
we'll
to
dig
pay
an
for the
entire cod
horrors.
out of this river.
Yes. Now, downside of Word of Recall is you don't know what the Word of Recall is set to. So, just a heads up. Or not the word. You don't know the location, rather. You think if you just kind of think.
I'll be able to figure that out.
It teleports us back into the river and we have to experience more horrors.
Oh, why? Would an identify spell figure that out? Let's see. learn how to use it. You said it says you learned its properties. I want to say no, because I think that's funner. But I also understand if you're just like, could you just tell us?
Nah, it's fine.
I kind of like having the rock of an emergency.
Yeah.
Oh no, but where will it?
But where will it send you? So
that is kind of like it is going to send us to a dread realm. It's going to send us to the Footloose one, probably.
But anywhere is better than here.
Yeah, no, that's what that is. It's the anywhere is better than
yes,
nearby.
you need to be in dire straits. It sends you to the dire straits dread realm, where you just money for nothing. Nailed it. Sultans of Swing, other dire straits songs. I'm old.
They have more than one song?
They do. They have two.
Oh, that is more than one.
Yeah. They might even have a third, but I can't think of it. Okay. With that, and heading into the mountains, we will pick up there next time. Outros and plugs. Dan.
Hi there, I'm Dan. You can catch me at LightningFast11 on Twitter and probably some other places. I'll be honest, I don't do a whole lot of stuff on there, so, go follow one of these lovely people instead. Go follow Birds and Nerds. Go follow, I don't actually remember what all y'all's other handles are. I'm sorry.
I mean, it's just my name, Dan.
Yeah, but like...
You have a name?
Okay. Yeah. Go follow Liz Horan as well, and Andy Hatton, and Jay.
Oh, me, I don't do anything.
I also don't do anything, but...
You made one tweet in the last year.
It's possible that's, like, the smart thing to do, though. And when I say possible, like, that is the smart thing to do. I tweet too much. Don't follow me. And yeah, no, I plugged respecting your friends and being nice to people and playing Morrowind. That game is still very good.
Oh.
Oh no, Jay? Are we going to get into a fight?
I'm not going to disagree. I'm just going to say it's a very, very difficult game to go back to if
I'm
you didn't grow up with.
Oh, yes. No, I am sure
I
that...
downloaded a fast travel mod and one that rebalances the stamina mechanic. So honestly, I'm having a great time.
That makes it so that if I manage to aim an arrow at an enemy and hit them, that it still hits them?
No, what?
I don't know. I don't use archery. I
What
just
about-
run in with my big sword.
Yeah, it's kind of the only way to do it. Because spell failure also sucks. But...
Yup.
That only happens if you... Well, actually, never mind. Yeah. Okay, so it's possible that Morrowind's not the best game.
No. I'm with you, Dan. I fucking love Morrowind. It's my favorite Elder Scrolls game.
Talk about this later.
Anyway, Liz.
I'm Liz. Yeah, you don't have to follow me on social media. Why use social media at all? Just go do other things. Experience life and not put it on the internet. Yeah. But, like, play games with your friends, too. That's always fun.
That we do exclusively broadcasting on the internet.
Exactly.
Mira.
I would like to plug this sheep plush I got from a Texas thrift in San Antonio last week. There are some very funny pictures of me having a breakdown in the plushie aisle because there were so many good ones and I couldn't get them all. His name is Stephen King for reasons that would take too long to explain, and the best story is that
I don't want to know.
The best story about Stephen King is that I stayed at a friend's apartment during that San Antonio trip. There were 9 of us in that very small apartment, and every time I walked out of a room to go do something, somebody else would be holding him when I came back in. So, everybody say hi to Stephen King.
Hello, Stephen King.
Hi, Stephen King.
Big fan.
Jay.
Hi, I'm Jay, and unlike last time where I immediately crashed the mood down, I'm going to say joy in the face of despair is one of the most powerful forms of resistance.
That's wonderful. That's
Even if things look real bad, take time to be happy.
That's why I bought Stephen King.
Yeah.
Stephen King was an excellent choice.
It's true.
I have this little Thor's hammer that spins. That's bringing me joy lately. I just walk around the house holding it like this, as if it were like a big real hammer. Hi everybody. I will echo what everyone said. Welcome, Stephen King. And yeah, beautifully put, Jay. In Morrowind, my favorite thing is when you walk out of a town and the dude just falls from the sky, dies instantly, and you pick up you loot his body, and you see he has a bunch of scrolls that increase your jump for 1 second to like 1,000,000, so you can literally jump. But the way the athletics system works in that game, if you land, you die. So
my health points are so high at this point that I don't have to worry about fall damage. So every time I jump, I have 100 athletics, 100 acrobatics. Every time I jump, it's a crunch, but I'm fine. So, you know.
Who needs shins?
Exactly.
God, they got rid of so much stuff in Skyrim and Oblivion, but Morrowind's great in its weirdest way possible. Skyrim's way more playable than Morrowind is.
Look, here's the thing. I think hey, we'll talk about this later. I've been
recommending role-playing games lately. How about Masks: A New Generation? I've been reading a bunch of Astro City lately, so it's gotten me in sort of a build-your-own comic book universe kind of mood. Masks: A New Generation is super fun. That's it. Sunday is Dragon Lords. Oh boy. Next Wednesday, Shattered Kingdoms should be back. That's it. Have a great night. Be safe. Be kind. Play a game. Have some fun. Bye.
Bye.